The time is here. The Sephora Savings Event is going on now. Also, sorry for using a low voice. It's late at night, everyone's sleeping. Again, because it's the only time I have to film. Rouge started this past week, but if you're a VIB or insider, you can start shopping today. I thought it would be fun to do a full face of my Sephora sale picks. I did a poll over on my Instagram and let you guys pick which item in most of the categories you wanted to see, and you guys voted for most of the items that are on my face right now. Some categories I didn't have multiples in. I am absolutely stunned by the finish of this makeup look and just everything. I forget how much I love all of these products, and using all of these together was insane. And be prepared to see how I created this stunning look. So I'm gonna start off with the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. This acts as a primer and moisturizer in one, plumps your skin amazingly. I'm color correcting with the Sephora Gel Serum Concealer. This is in the shade Butterscotch. I've used this concealer for many years. I love how it has coverage, it's thin, it's pretty much serum-y and very spreadable and blends away easily. And this shade is incredible for color correcting for medium skin tones. If you see, I don't have to use a lot and it's just correcting everything so well. The foundation winner was the Armani Luminous Silk. I'm using shade 6. This might be just a little bit lighter than I'm used to right now because I still have my summer tan, but I think it'll work out fine still. This is literally my favorite foundation so far of all time. I mean, I recently tried the House Labs foundation sample and I loved it, but I haven't tried it consistently enough to compare it to the Armani. It's not a bad match. It's pretty close because I think my tan is fading. But you can see how it gave beautiful light to medium coverage. I didn't use a lot to start, but it just gave me really perfected, smooth, filtered skin, and it still got a little bit of a luminosity. Not as much as the camera's showing because I have studio lights on me right now, but it's so beautiful. The concealer winner was the Dior Forever Skin Correct. This one's in the shade 2WO. I think I probably would have honestly preferred 2W. I just thought since I'm an olive undertone that I would get olive, but it's not the best for under eye brightening. That's why I had to go in with the color corrector, just to make sure that I gave my under eyes the best brightness and coverage. My other favorite concealer is the NARS Radiant Creamy. It just works with all skin types that I've tried on all my clients. It's the only one that I really use for the most part. And I think this Dior one is a beautiful, fuller coverage version of that. Like, it's so creamy, so blendable, so hydrating, but you get a poop ton of coverage. I think right now for me, in my favorites, it's a toss-up between this one and the NARS. For bronzer, I'm using my favorite of all time, which is the Patrick Ta Bronzer Duo in She's Bronze. I'm going in with this angled flat foundation brush. I usually use Patrick's contour brush for this, but I recently used it on a client and I have yet to wash it. So this is the one that I'm going to be using, but it still makes contour really easy. And the thing I love about this cream contour is it blends out so easily. It's not like super intense in pigmentation, so it blends out like so naturally on your skin. Like, I don't even have to do any work. It's like butter, though I feel like I went too far down there. But I'm just using a light hand and it blends so amazingly. It doesn't really leave patchiness or any like harsh lines or anything. I just blend out the edges with a sponge. With a smaller brush, I'm just gonna contour out around my mouth just to add a bit of fullness, and my nose as well. Look at how beautiful that bronzer blend is. It's perfect. I love this shade for medium skin tones. So blush winner was a tie between the Patrick Ta Blush Duo and the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch blushes. I had to go with my personal favorite, which is the Patrick Ta Blush Duo, and this is in the shade She's Blushing, which is my favorite blush formula and shade of all time. So I'm gonna go in with the cream first. I normally like to use the method that Patrick does, which is the powder blush first and then the cream on top. But just for the sake of how most people normally do it, I'm gonna show you guys this way. But it just gives you the most beautiful pigment and luminosity. And whenever I use this method with the cream on top of the powder, I never ever have to use highlighter because it gives such an amazing glow. This works the same way that the cream contour does. It just blends away so beautifully. So let me just show you this. You see how smooth and buttery and glowy it is? It's just perfect. So I'm also gonna use this as the cream base for my eyeshadow. Kind of going for like a pinky mauvey look today, and I like using cream underneath my shadows. It helps everything to intensify and helps the eyeshadow stick better. And it just adds an extra dimension to it. I'm gonna spray everything down with the MAC Fix Plus Stay Over Setting Spray. The winner of the powder category was the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish powder. This is in the shade Medium 2. This again is the one that I use on all my clients. I love this for smoothing any area. Like, look how blurred and smooth everything is there. And I like to use it in like not too bright of a shade under my eyes and for setting my concealer first, because it helps to hide any shadowiness left. Look at that blur. It's absolutely amazing. I didn't have to use a ton of powder, and it just did such an amazing job of setting down the makeup but not looking dry or cakey and just blurring everything out. So I'm going in with that Patrick Ta powder bronzer. And I love this powder. Just like the cream, it's not super pigmented. It's actually meant to, I assume, it's meant to build up easily and not be too crazy, and it's super smooth and blendable as well. Now I actually prefer formulas like this for all my powders. I do prefer to build up my colors instead of having to be careful and then have patchiness and uneven areas. I personally feel that formulas like these give you the most beautiful, classy, and elegant look, and there are no crazy harsh contrasts. And I mean, even in Patrick's makeup, that's the technique and style that he has, and it's never overdone. Even if it's glam, it still looks beautifully blended and elegant. So this is the bronzed look. It's the most beautiful bronzer ever. And then I'm going in with that She's Blushing powder formula. So usually after I take it on my brush, I tap off the excess on my hand just so it doesn't go patchy or apply unevenly. And that's just beautiful. I don't wear this enough, not because I don't love it, but because I tend to have this in my kit for the most part, and so I don't get my hands on it as often as I should, but it's so beautiful. Look how pigmented it is, and it's so smooth and filtered. I don't know what's in this formula, but it's incredible. Okay, are you ready? Isn't it amazing? I'm gonna take that blush into the crease for my transition shade. So that's what that looks like. I love how cohesive everything is. So I'm gonna do my brows off camera. I don't have any Sephora picks for this one because I love everything drugstore for mascara and brows. So yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, brows are done. I used my Bay Brow brow styling wax and my NYX Lift and Snatch brow pen. My full brow tutorial is posted in a previous video that you can check out. So favorite eyeshadows for me were between two palettes. It was the Anastasia Soft Glam and the Patrick Ta Original Major Dimension palette. Easily the Anastasia Soft Glam won. I have this depotted in my professional kit palette, so it's right here along the bottom. So I'm gonna stay in this area and create like a sultry mauvey look. So I'm going into this plummy shade. I think it's called Mulberry, and I'm just gonna build up a little bit of depth here. I'm not doing anything too crazy out of the ordinary. This is going to be a slightly more glam look than I usually do on a daily basis, but I still want to keep it to what I would normally do, so it's going to be pretty simple, I think. Adding the slightest bit of dimension into the crease, and then blending it all out with that brush that I use the blush with into the crease. I'm gonna go in with this beautiful deep rose shade called Sultry. I'm just gonna place that in the center of the lids. This pigment is kind of strange, like it looks super metallic in the pan, but it's not that reflective when you put it on. Either way, it's a really beautiful shade. So there it is. It's actually pretty like bronzy looking. It's like a rose bronze type of look, but it's really pretty. And then I'm going to take this deep brown shade. I think it's called Umber, but if it's not, I'll just put it on the screen. And I'm just going to do like a diffused wing, soft wing with this. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'm just going to go do my mascara and be right back. So that's the eyes done with the mascara. I'm in love with this eye look. I haven't done a soft glam look like this in a really long time, and I really miss doing this, like especially using this palette. I forget how blendable and pigmented and smooth the Anastasia eyeshadow formulas are. I'll give you a proper look here. So pretty. Before I move on to the rest of the face, I just want to brighten the under eyes a little bit, so I'm just taking that same Charlotte Tilbury powder, but I'm taking it in a lighter shade. This is shade number 1. It's the lightest one that they have. It's gonna take away some of that excess shine. Honestly, you can like keep adding and adding more of this powder and it just does not look cakey. I'm so excited to show you guys the highlighter that I'm gonna use today. I haven't actually used this on camera yet, so this is my first time. It is the Dior Backstage Glow Face Palette. Look at this. It's just stunning. I snatched this up as soon as it came back in stock. It's like always out of stock, but this original combo is so hard to get now. But if you guys want to get your hands on this one, stay on Sephora's waitlist thing. You can get notified if you put your email in, and that's how I found out. And I just went on right away and I got it. Disclaimer, this is the nicest highlighter I have ever used. I am gonna go in with this gold. Actually, I think I'm gonna mix this pink and gold just to keep in theme. So it's very skin-like. Like it does not add any texture whatsoever. And so I purposefully like to use only a little bit because I don't like too much glow, but it just gives such a flawless blend. You know what, for the sake of the video, I will use more here, but it's so easy to build up and it keeps just giving you this flawless smooth blend. And I'm gonna take some to the inner corner there. Actually taking that white shade just to add a bit more brightness. And I would never use a white highlight shade like this, but this formula is so delicate and perfect that it just adds the perfect amount of brightness. And just a little bit of brow highlight. And then I'm also gonna take this on the Cupid's bow. So the lip liner that I picked was the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. Usually this is a perfect pinky nude shade for my lips. I mean, I'm a little bit tanned, so it might show up paler, but I just love this undertone. So usually when I'm less tanned, this gives me like a really lovely natural pink look. And then what I usually do is I take my NYX brown liner and I just contour. This is how you can make pretty much any lipstick look amazing on your lips. So I always overline my bottom lip by quite a lot. And then the top, I just kind of overline more in the center and then keep it close to my natural lip line on the outside. So you can see already the difference that that brown liner makes. And I do this with all my lip liners and lipsticks. I always have to use like a contour shade. So it gives you more dimension. It doesn't make your lips look flat. Last but not least, the winner for my Sephora lip favorites goes to Patrick Ta Monochrome Moment Velvet Lip Creme. I think that's the name. I'll list it down below. It's so long. This is in the shade She's Independent. It is the most stunning nude beige. And I just put it in the center and blend it out. Honestly, the prettiest nude beige for light to medium skin tones. I mean, obviously, if you're lighter skin tone, this is going to look darker, but for this soft glam look or whenever you're going to do a dramatic eye, a lip like this brings me back to like early 2000s with the very nude lipsticks. What I love about this formula is that it feels creamy and comfortable on the lips. It doesn't look flat. It's not like super matte. It's still got some natural shine to it, but it's also so long lasting. Like this will stay on my lips forever. Not a lot of it comes off if I'm eating, or I don't know, I guess it depends on how oily your food is. I love this shade. It goes so well with olive skin tones, and this goes perfectly with this neutral pinky look. And I'm gonna do what I always do with my makeup, which is to add a little bit of whatever blush I used on my face to my lips. And this is gonna just tie in all the colors of the face together. So that is the finished look. I'm so in love with this. Yes, I can do makeup, but it makes such a world of difference when you use everything that's just incredible quality. It's not often that I do an entire full face of my favorite products all together. I shouldn't be surprised, but I am blown away by how amazing the finish is. It's too bad that it's super late at night right now because I don't want to wash this off. So I've linked the full list of my Sephora picks down below. Go ahead and check it out. There's so many good items to give you ideas for this sale. Let me know what your thoughts are on any of the products that I used today, or if you have like one or two things that are your top recommendations. I gotta head to bed now, but I would love if you subscribe to my channel so we can see each other again, and please give this video a thumbs up, and I hope you have a happy shopping. Talk to you later. Bye.